Hi. Sorry, I was looking. Oh, there we go. Emily's here now. I was looking at a whole bunch of things. Hi, Emily.
You're looking at donuts on Facebook.
Oh, I am. Why am I looking at donuts on
Because
Facebook? That's strange.
it's a funny meme. So, and now my stream is catching up. Sorry about that, guys. Hi, everybody at home. My name is Emily, and this is my good friend Trey. This is
Hi.
our brand new show. We're going to call it The Solution. And this is the first time we've ever done this, so we don't really know exactly how it's going to pan out. But what this is a deconstruction of these Hunt-A-Killer boxes. I've been doing a series of theirs called Empty Faces, which is like a horror campaign for the last 3 months, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Basically, they send you these boxes full of letters and notes and trinkets and things, and you kind of have to solve a mystery. And their main product is this Hunt-A-Killer box, and there's a newish campaign, I do believe, that we're going to start today because I just got the first box last weekend, and we're going to dig in and see what we can make it. So here we go.
Yeah. Awesome. So, what do we do? Because I have not done this.
So this is a photo that you guys see right now of the entire box as I got it, kind of with the parts taken apart, so I could take a picture of everything. But there's a bunch of letters in the white envelope. There's another bunch of letters in the yellow envelope. There's a little pocket watch, which is actually quite nice. And they also send you this nifty little note, which is just adorable, and I absolutely love. And a cute little pen. Look at this guy. Aww.
Oh, that is cool. I think I have a photo of the pen. This is the pen. Oh, wait. This is the pen. He's adorable.
That's the pen. Yeah, so I assume that the notebook and the pen really don't have anything to do with it and are just swag, which is super cool.
You don't know that.
Maybe. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. So I say we start digging in with the very first letter.
Which one? Which letter are you declaring? The first letter. I organized this stuff in here pretty weirdly.
I think it's gonna be this one that says Felix at the top. It's literally just the one that was on top of
That's the Jasper Flowers letter. Felix.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
So if you want to throw that one up.
Hang on one second. It freaked out again.
Oh, no. Well, I'll just start reading it.
Okay, go for it.
So, this is a letter from Felix. It says, Listening Friend. Welcome to the Listening Friends of America family. As the head of the table, so to speak, I have personally intervened in our standard procedures and assigned you your new friend, myself. Looking at your background, you seem to be very capable of dealing with this particular situation that is of great personal concern. I know Mr. Flowers has done something unusual and beyond the parameters of his station. I just do not know what it is. I cannot tell you yet why I say this, at least not yet. But I believe very strongly that whatever he has done will greatly harm Listening Friends of America and our mission. You must find out what he has done so we can remedy the situation before it is too late. Mr. Flowers is located in our Bozeman facility, and there is a particularly sensitive situation there. You may need to look into the archives. I provided a back door as an access point for you beneath the newsletters. You'll see it. I've also included the enclosed file, what information on Mr. Flowers we have that may be relevant. You have 6 months. If you are unsuccessful after that, we'll deal with Mr. Flowers some other way and hope for the best. Expect to hear from me again. Expect to hear from me again at a time to be determined. Good luck, Felix.
What?
So
I mean, I get what he's saying. So, really, he's basically just telling us there's something we should look into. Look at these archives, right?
Yeah, and I guess we're the friend. And what I've gathered, I tried not to do a whole lot of looking into this, but I did look into Listening Friends of America.
Okay.
And it sounds like they are a obviously fictitious organization in the world of Hunt-A-Killer. Okay. And it sounds like they assign listening friends to people in situations where they normally wouldn't have somebody to talk to, like so people in prison or people in like a psychiatric ward or anybody that just doesn't have a friend to speak with. And I'm assuming they write you letters, and we're one of those friends. But apparently Felix has picked out our new friend for us, and that's not normally how they do things.
Yeah.
Because our new friend did something wrong, and we have to figure out what.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree. I trust Flowers a little more than Felix. We haven't heard from Flowers yet, but at this point, Felix is a weird guy that's just declaring who our friend is. That's bizarre to me.
He's maybe just assigning. We don't know. We don't know that much about.
That's true. We don't know how this works completely yet. Okay, so do we want to look into this archive? And what newsletter is he referring to?
I have no idea. There's some Interoffice Memos, and there's also.
Oh, these are the letters from. This is Jasper's letters. Is this no? That's the listen. This is a good one to start with here.
It might be their newsletter that he's. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Let's go there.
This is from Inspector Mel Gibson.
Meg Gibson.
Meg
it
Gibson.
Says Meg.
I'm sorry, Meg. Not
I'm
Mel.
like, there's no way they used Mel Gibson.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even put that together until this very moment.
That's funny.
Sorry. Dear listening friend, thank you so much for becoming part of our family. I would like to apologize before we get too far along for my awkward letters. I am not usually writing our volunteers, but my superiors have sent down that we are working on a new initiative to keep you a little more in the loop than the usual crowd. To be honest, I do not usually write at all. First, I want you to know about the new initiative. Passed in the listening friends family, it is important to us all that we ensure your safety and well-being. Pursuant to that, you can access my notes on all the items your friend sends to you. To access the notes, I've taken your friend's package items. I've taken on your friend's package items. Oh, they've taken notes for us on these items at listeningfriendsofamerica.org and click on the Inspector Notes database. You can follow the easy two-step process on the screen. Your package ID is stamped on the envelope you received from our facility.
Yeah. I took pictures.
Then
of those
a little bit about
envelope.
me. My name is Megan, but I prefer Meg. It is hey, thanks, Panda Bear. It is what my friends call me, and I think it fits better. I like to hike up the M and hang on the summit. I am an inspector here, listening Friends Bozeman. We are in an old building and have a handful of patients, so our limited resources. I operate building other facilities. Sorry, I stopped reading this well. Much of what we do involves maintaining the listening friends archives. What patients we do have are a bit quirky, but I think they're a bunch of really nice people. I hope this works out, and I hope you stay with us. It's always nice to grow the fam, especially when we all fit together. Yeah, we're a fam. Enjoy getting to know your friend, and I will be in touch in the next month. Thank you for listening, Meg Gibson, Inspector. So she's like our physical arm in this whole endeavor. Is that what I gather?
Yeah, I think so. And one thing that I do want to point out is that, like, a lot of times, well, I can't really say a lot of times. I've been through 3 of these boxes with a totally different campaign, so I could be completely wrong about this, but it's usually the weird stuff in letters that, like, is going to stand out to you and make you think of something else. So the one thing I want to point out in this letter is, I like to hike up the M and hang out on the summit. That's a weird thing to say.
That is a weird thing to say. That didn't stand out to me. It does not fit
anywhere else in this letter. And, like, it's a very, like, artsy fartsy
good
way.
Point. Stand by. We're gonna make our first note about something.
Ooh, notes.
Back to Meg's letter. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Whatever. Where's the text? Oh God. You all get to watch me type on the fly. This is gonna be ridiculous. What was it? I like to hike up the M.
I like to hike up the M and hang out on the summit.
Hang out on the summit. All right, Meg. Meg with the M, hike.
So,
okay.
Where else should we go? What's next?
So we got our friend Meg. Felix has assigned us a man named Flowers. She said something about a marking on an envelope. So here's the envelope, right?
Yes.
Okay, I see the
guessing it's the
package
entry
ID.
that-
So
yeah.
the package ID is probably that guy right there.
That's Mel
Are
or
we
Meg.
gonna? Do we want to read through a bunch of this stuff before we start going to the internet to look around?
Yeah. Let's get through his. There's like some resident paperwork in here. Like of his. Like maybe somebody took in triage of some sort.
Oh, like the medical paperwork?
First
This guy?
impression, yeah. Yep.
Okay. We have a front and a back side. So let's take a look at the front side first, I guess. Resident growth assessment. Since I honestly don't know what's going on.
Hold on 1 second. There's another one that's called resident intake first impressions. I'm guessing that's like on intake that we should probably check that one.
Oh, yeah, this guy right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess I don't really know what's going on. Do we know who is this person? Why do we have medical intakes formed for this guy? Medical intake forms for this guy?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know yet.
All right. I guess we'll just look through it. Okay. All right. His name is Jasper Flowers. His appearance is neat. His speech is normal. His motor activity is normal. His affect is full.
I don't really
I'm
know
assuming
what
it's
that
affect
means.
and not affect. I'm not sure why we'd have full effect. It's like full effect. I don't know. Something like that. Mood is they marked as euthymic. Anybody know what euthymic means?
Euthymic? I don't know. Let's look it up. Hold on. I need to know that word.
No, I don't usually get medical intakes for all my new friends.
Me either.
I know Zart's here. Zart, did you send me your medical intake forms? I'm going to need those. I'm expecting an email before the end of the day.
Euthymia is a normal, non-depressed, reasonably positive mood. It is distinguished from hyperthymia, which refers to extremely happy mood, and dysthymia.
So far we have a completely normal man being checked in to a hospital. Okay, got you. Cognition, he thinks he's a person. That's good.
Okay, that seems right.
Memory impairment was none. Attention, normal. Comments, he has difficulty displaying empathy. Oh, okay, that's troubling. Perception, hallucinations, none. Other depersonalization, okay, sounding more and more like a psychopath. Oh, no, I didn't get the form. God, send it again. You probably sent it to my old fax number. You can work on it. Wow, board games. Whoa.
Whoa.
Thoughts, suicidality, none. Homicidality, none. Delusions, none. Behavior, cooperative. And bizarre?
So, but like under comments, it says compliant, but often spoke circumlocutiously. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Circumlocutiously.
I mean, maybe like talking in circles, I guess, but I don't know what that means.
Locutiously. Yeah, nope, I totally botched that.
Good try, though.
Yeah. Circumlocutiously. How is it spelled? Where did it go?
It is
C-I-R. Opposite of brevity. Oh, okay. Like.
Oh, so like he just talks a lot.
All right. I'm glad Zart's here. This is helpful.
Thank you, Zart. Are we pronouncing it right? Is the real question.
I think so. I don't think I'm usually pretty good with the pronunciation.
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. So then there is another side to this form. Is that the other side of this form?
Yes. Section A, identification information.
Okay.
Yep.
So his name is Jasper Flowers. He's a male. He was born in '74. Never married.
This is his first assessment.
He has an address in Bozeman, Montana. Some facility codes, a unit code. Reasons for admission. Danger, threat or danger to others. Specific psychiatric symptoms. Depression, hallucinations, medication, side effects. Also marked as a 1. I don't know what that means.
He's got specific psychiatric symptoms.
Oh, it's just
It
1 or
doesn't say
0
what
is yes or no. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Involvement
So,
in criminal justice system or forensic admission. 1. All right.
Oh.
So
Involvement
is he?
with criminal justice
Did he
system.
kill somebody?
Maybe, but also
and he's
like,
crazy.
He's like a cop or something, right?
Reason for assessment.
With
First
assessment.
first assessment. It's like amendment. Sorry.
So basically, he is a completely normal person that just kind of talks a lot, but
Might
also
be mildly psychopathic so far.
Yeah, is not empathetic and has something. Depression, hallucinations, medication side effects, and also is somehow involved with criminal justice system or forensic admission.
Legit.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean you know people like that? Who are you talking about?
Low-Q-idiously. I don't know. Okay, so under additional notes, we have pleaded insanity at trial, forensic evidence verified culpability, does not empathize with others, and very dissociated. So, like, he's a really nice psychopath?
What was he on trial for?
I don't know.
You still haven't figured that out, right? Okay.
Okay, so then next we have the resident growth assessment.
Is this like growth hormones where he got bigger? Or like growth is
sure,
like he got better as a person?
Personal growth. His little Grinch heart grew 3 sizes. And they fixed him and the story's over. We're good. We won. Bye, everybody.
Bye. It's fun. All right. Good times. All right. So Jasper Flowers, he was taken care of by Willa Cortez.
Ooh, Willa.
Here's more ID info along with a staff ID.
Mm-hmm. So observed and reported changes in condition. Subject exhibits a tendency towards. Oh God, I can't read that.
De-individuation. I assume that
Wowie
means
zowie.
he doesn't like to be by himself.
Especially in small group settings. Maintains an abnormally inconsistent sense of self, ranging from.
Oh, he doesn't want people to be individuals? He wants everybody to be the same? All right, we need.
He's.
Chat will catch up with us on the de-individuation, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maintains an abnormally inconsistent sense of self, ranging from undeveloped to debilitating self-consciousness.
Huh. And then subject has demonstrated threatening speech and aggressive posturing, though has not yet behaved violently during residency. It looks like he dresses neat. He is cooperative. His stream of thought is fragmented. He has obsessions. And
The concept in social psychology that is generally thought of as the loss of self-awareness in groups, although this is a matter of convention. Oh, so like he lacks self-awareness to realize when he might be inappropriate or something like that. I think is what they're talking about there.
Huh.
Like he doesn't have self-awareness amongst a group of people.
Sure.
Has trouble fitting in.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Perceptual disturbances, depersonalization, affect appropriate. Mood, euphonic.
Cooperative, passive. Stream of thought is fragmented. He has a hard time
There's nothing.
He has a hard time with big thoughts and ideas.
What's on this next page here? Page 2 of 2 of this resident growth assessment.
Over here. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, at the top under orientation, there's nothing actually checked. It says oriented ×3, not time, not place, not person, and nothing is checked.
That is weird, but at the same time, I don't know what orient ×3 would mean, but I assume if nothing's checked, then he realizes what reality is? Like he knows where he is, who he is, that kind of stuff?
Well, I would think that oriented would mean that like he's stable in that, and then not time, not place, or not person would be 3 different ways to differentiate that he wasn't stable.
Yeah, like he doesn't know what time it is, doesn't know the place, doesn't know who he is.
But if nothing is...
Oh, so oriented times 3, all 3 of those things. Yeah, you're right. It should be checked. Weird.
Yeah.
Insight, present.
Judgment is impaired. And he suggested he lives in an apartment instead of on facility grounds, and...
So he's not oriented to reality if that's the case. Like,
apparently not. But it's not marked either.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, that should be marked, not place. If you can't figure out where he is or where he lives.
Sedate if necessary. Ew.
Or cereals.
Or cereal.
Cereal.
Okay. Where do we want to go next here? Next document?
Next, I think...
We have some articles. This might give us more idea as to who he is. I assume these might be local newspaper clippings?
Yeah, the little gruesome murder scene found
Sorry,
at
I'm
computer
going to try
museum.
not to scroll and scroll jump between these two things for everybody watching. It's a little touchy. Gruesome murder scenes found at computer museum. Oh, computers are so wonderful. Why do we ruin them? Their legacy. The remains at large. Local authorities are scratching their heads over a recent murder to shake the local community. A body was discovered by a night watch attendant at the America Computer and Robotics Museum. According to the police, the body was dismembered at every major joint. Oh my god. And chest cavity was excavated? I mean, I know that word, but I didn't expect that word. So
yeah.
Wow. Detectives are currently investigating and so have refused to publicly identify the victim. The sheriff's department has made assurances, though, through a press release, that they are doing everything that can be done in a thing like this. The employee working the night watch has, according to police, asked for anonymity. Yeah, chest was excavated. I just imagine like a backhoe getting in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the museum has not yet responded to a request for comment at time of press. Authorities are asking that anyone with information may be helpful, please call the sheriff's office. And then we have another one, which I thought was like a continuation of this, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
No, it's actually the back. It's just the back of this newspaper, so it may be completely unrelated.
Oh, it's the back of the. Okay, yeah. I got you.
Yep.
All right, so this may or may not be related.
But like, knowing Hunt a Killer and kind of how they roll, there's probably something in there that we need or will need at some point.
There's some names in here that we should probably keep in mind, like Codwell, Jennifer Forianda. Yeah.
I think that's probably the impression that they want to make, is that it's not important, but you know how those things.
So then looking here, we have Jasper's letters.
We also have 3 Interoffice Memos from...
I see them. Do we want to look at these these listening Friends of America memos?
Yeah, let's look at that.
The first one I have is the Warren Jones memo.
Yes. Well, they all are Warren Jones, but the first one is, it's my recommendation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, this one's new patient work assignment. You want my recommendation?
Oh, sorry. No. This, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So this is from to Warren Jones from Clark Love. Go ahead and read.
Sure, yeah. It says, it's my recommendation that 5040, which I assume is Mr. Flowers, stay out of the garden. I tried him out there as a joke, but he ruined a whole bed before I gathered him up. I don't think the guy has a sense of humor. Funny thing, though, the lawnmower he used to cut down the landscaping was broken and collecting dust in the junk shed, so he must have gone in there, found it, and fixed it. I thought it was pretty go-get-him of him, so I asked if he could take a look at the old grandmother clock? It's a grandmother clock. Okay. So I asked if he could take a look at the old grandmother clock in the lobby. He did a bang-win job on the clock repair. It's a bang-win job. Maybe we can turn that into a job with a regular rotation. I think he'd enjoy that. If machines are his thing, I'll try him out in the basement and see if he can give me a hand down there. Other than that, I think he'd be up for doing almost anything. He's got a hell of a work ethic. I think once he puts his mind to something, he won't stop until he sees it all the way through. I like that about him.
So Jasper's way into machine.
And apparently he can fix a grandmother clock, which I have literally never heard of. A
Clock similar to a
grandfather clock,
grandfather clock, but 2/3 of the size.
2/3
Oh, so
the
it's
size.
actually a thing. It's not a weird mistake. Okay.
I've never heard of that before, ever. Learning things.
All right. Then the next moment we have is to Warren Jones from Dr. Willa Cortez. Willa?
Yeah.
Okay. Cobra 81 and patient 5040, which is Jasper Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Warren, per your request, we tested the subject at 5:45 this morning. Upon the start of the test, he was quiet and calm. He began surveying the area from his chair before rising. He then moved to each station and examined each one for roughly 30 minutes at a time. Once the entire room had been observed, the subject sat back down in his chair, briefly before returning to the first station, and began to disassemble each module using a privilege chit to pry open the casing. Interesting. He then studied the inner mechanisms of the modules until he removed the trigger spring from each, neutralizing them. I suppose that's one way to go about the test, but it's the first time I've seen it in 10 years. I recommend we continue with the program. Was the other one like a precursor to this? Nope.
No. No, it's actually after this.
Yeah.
I think we actually got them right in the right order.
This is interesting.
So there's a third memo to Warren from Dr. Willa.
Okay, I want to go back to this one though. Okay.
Oh no, we can discuss this first. That's
okay.
fine.
I'm just trying to understand like what this test was. We don't know what this test was, obviously.
Well, it sounds like so there's stations, right?
Yeah.
He moved to each station. You have an examined each one for roughly 30 minutes at a time. Once he went around and looked at everything, he went back down in his chair and thought, apparently, and then went back to the first station and disassembled each module using what's a privilege chit?
I got hung up on that for a second. I'm wondering if it's like a card that like they have to probably wear IDs or something. It's probably like a piece of plastic.
Could be, yeah. To pry open the casing, he studied the inner mechanisms of the modules until he removed the trigger spring from each. Are these like bombs? Or like...
So
I don't know.
We were working under the assumption that they are in some sort of mental health facility, right?
Yeah.
So under that assumption, I was thinking maybe some sort of injector, but then you do raise a good point. What if we are completely wrong about this being a mental health facility?
No, I think it is because there's something, I noticed something earlier, what page? Oh, yeah. On the resident growth assessment, next to staff name, there's a staff ID, and it's PSY 217. So it's got to be like a psychiatric ward.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's being tested, bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
With some kind of module that he's disassembling that apparently is not meant to be disassembled that way or like is, but nobody's ever figured it out.
Interesting.
So then there's a third memo, also from Dr. Willa to Warren. It says, Warren, we went back through to 76. Now this is Cobra 76 versus Cobra 81 on the other memo. We went back through to 76 with subject and discovered that he struggled with completion of the test. The test was done correctly, single blind, with all the usual parameters in place. Subject could not discern which participant was hiding the gold token and which participants were not.
What?
Under these conditions, I have no freaking idea. Under these conditions, the subject became increasingly hostile. At one point, he stood knocking over his chair, and he screamed in visible frustration. He then picked up his chair and placed it where it had been before, sat down, and began singing a song. This is definitely a psychiatric ward.
All right, fair enough.
Looking back over the tape, I was able to make out the words, "You went away and left me because you thought you could hurt me, but I got news for you." I do not believe he was threatening me or anyone else. He appeared to be using the music to soothe himself. Soothe. We should continue to monitor, but I am curious to see.
It's Soothe.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Soothe has me. I'm curious to see how continued Cobra runs will affect his behavior outside the module. So we now know that Cobra is this test that they're doing, and there's at least a 76 and an 81. Don't know what that means.
So, like, when they run tests like this, they'll, like, run different tests and they'll just number them like this. So Cobra is some sort of project. 76 and 81 are test numbers or batch numbers, or...
Possibly.
Are they testing a drug?
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
All right.
All
right, so these memos, I wrote down Cobra 76 and 81 because that seems relevant.
Yeah. For sure.
Where do we want to
go?
go?
We went through Meg's letter. We went through... okay, so there's a couple other things that were in here, and I think this one might actually require some assembly, so I might have to step away to grab some scissors. But
is it that round thing?
Yes.
Yeah, so I got that here. We can actually, like, so yeah, you may need to assemble it just so we know what it says, but I can explain what's happening. So if you run and grab you need string and some scissors. Or a rubber band.
Okay.
String or a rubber band.
Okay, let me see what I can find.
All right. I'll explain what's happening here while you do that.
Okay, sounds good.
So what this thing is you take the two things and you put them together, and they want you to paste them together and then weave some string through it. But instead, what we're going to do is just probably weave string through it so we don't have to deal with the paste. But what they want you to do is cut it out, and then on each one of the holes, boop, 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 you string some stuff, and then twist it around, spin it. And so if you look here, you can see there's words here, and it looks like it's like, I think it says teeth. If I have to, like, guess as to what this says, it's teeth. But it's hard to tell for sure without spinning it, and so I think we need to spin it. Emily's coming back. Hopefully she brought the rubber band. We're going to spin the thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Emily, I took a guess. I think this says teeth.
I am fairly sure it does.
Okay.
I was actually just looking at it. I'm fairly sure it does, but I still want to do it because it's kind of cool.
Okay, and I just explained all of that, and the video and the thing dropped out again, so nobody saw it. I'm going to fix that while you weave the thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it says, cut out circles. There are 4 circles. Paste together graphic sides. Oh my god, I can't read this. Paste together graphic sides out. Tie rubber bands to each end. Hold 1 rubber band in each hand and wind up the circle. Let the don't know what that says spin to see the message so the 2 sides become 1. Yeah, okay, so I gotta cut this thing in half, it looks like. And then I'm gonna find something to poke a hole in it. And I just so happen to have an X-Acto knife.
Got it back.
Oh, yay, there it is.
So, yeah, what she's talking about is this is the front and back of this card, and there's these dots. Yeah. One here, one here, one here, one here. So we're going to punch holes in it, fold this thing in half, and then spin it around the string, and we're pretty sure it's going to say teeth.
It's definitely going to say teeth. If you just kind of look at it sideways, you can see it.
Sorry that when I explained this before, the video had cut out. I'm not a big fan of this capture card, and I'm probably going to write a terrible review.
Okay, so I think it goes this. Ah, hell, I don't know.
That's true, Zart. It might actually say Hittit. I'm gonna go Hittit. It might say Hittit.
You guys are funny. Okay, so I think it goes this. Ah, hell, I don't know. It might actually say Hittit. It might say Hittit. You guys are funny. 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 You guys are I definitely couldn't find any string, but I do have a twisty tie from my bread.
That'll work. You just gotta spin it around. Yeah, I said teat. That's why this is an adult channel. Teat.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure we put mature rating on this thing so kids couldn't get in here.
I bring in hopes so I swear I'm
really, kids just like click the button. Like we all know the kids just click the button. Hi, children. So.
And I definitely encouraged my 11-year-old son to sub us on Twitch, and he was like, and I was like, "Do you love me?"
Your 11-year-old son rejected your Twitch channel.
He was like, not into it.
That's just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay, so I'm spinning the do.
Okay, spin the do. I'm gonna.
It says teeth. It says 1,000%.
Spin it in front of the camera. You just went through all that.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get the other. I just moved the other side of this off.
Let the people see the teeth.
Teeth. All right, I lost my piece of string. Hang on a second.
Show me your teeth. That's the most amazingly sexy thing that anyone's ever said to me online.
Show me your teeth.
Show me your teeth.
All right.
So yeah, I'm kind of just like flipping through some documents here. I think we need a little bit more context as to what's happening. Something about teeth, obviously. I'm gonna go ahead and write teeth down. Maybe he collects teeth? I think that's a thing. I think he collects teeth.
Yeah, it's not going to show a whole lot, but...
Yeah, I know. I totally see your teeth.
Not really catching it. Yeah,
totally see your teeth. It's cool. It's cool. Frame rates.
Cool.
Frame rates and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd have to spin it at like 60 frames a second, maybe 120. And then you'd
I
have
don't think
to
that's going to happen with my little twisty tie.
Yeah, it would get all weird.
Combobulation here.
I agree. Strange.
Okay, so we know about teeth.
All right, so teeth, Cobra, Jasper flowers, the psych ward that is testing something. We have this weird murder article.
Yeah, so there's also a couple of papers in here that we haven't actually gotten through yet.
Correct. There is the letters from Jasper himself, which
there's also a
are
letter,
of note.
it looks like, from somebody called Sylvia.
That one's from Mel Gibson. Here's the Felix letter.
Mm-hmm. The Sylvia one has like an inspected stamp on it and a border around the side.
Oh, isn't that from Jasper? Oh, that one is to Jasper.
That's
from
to
Sylvia.
Jasper. Yeah.
Do we want to go there next? Is that what we want to do? Because this letter is pretty sweet. So, yeah, this one has been inspected. So this is mail to Jasper in the psych ward, I assume. That's why they'd inspect his mail, correct?
Or in jail or wherever he was before. I don't know.
Truth.
Probably here though.
All right. So, yeah. I'll read. Sure. Dear Jasper, as always, I hope you're doing well. I'll be positive and assume the best, since you have no way to, as soon as we get past this inspected thing, this will stop, to tell me otherwise. Do you remember my last letter when something was invented?
No, it was when something was invited to that artisan expo.
When something was invited to that artisan expo in Helena. It was trans twins, tons?
No, well, it turns out one
of the committee members has a grudge against my old instructor. So he found some arbitrary reason to cut down my demonstration time from 2 hours to 30 minutes. Can you believe that? What?
What am I expected to make in just 30 minutes? A molten blob?
Yeah, sure. I would like a complete joke. Go ahead, read. I can't do this for some reason.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. What am I expected to make in just 30 minutes? What am I expected to make in just 30 minutes? A molten blob? I would look like a complete joke, so I sent them a very apologetic cancellation email the night before the expo. I'm sure they had no trouble finding another apprentice trained in medieval glassblowing. I get the molten blob thing now. Well, anyway, on to better news. After all these years, I finally got around to expanding the back workshop. You know, I always hated how dusty and cramped it was, although you never seemed to mind. It was like your little safe haven, wasn't it? I had to make room for new equipment and more workstations. Recently, I hired some assistants to help me with a rather ambitious project. They're pretty capable, but none of them have your natural talent, unfortunately. I'm sure I'll never find anyone as meticulous as you. I guess all these changes at Carte du Monde?
Carte du Monde.
Yeah, okay. Have me feeling sentimental. I can't stop thinking about the past today. Back then, I tried my hardest to get you to open up to me. I didn't want to pry, so eventually I just let it be, but now I feel like I should have tried harder. Maybe I could have helped you. That's what friends do for each other. Do you still consider me a friend, Jasper? I know I say this every time, but I wish there was some way for you to contact me. Everything feels so one-sided. But every story has two sides, doesn't it? Someday I hope to hear yours. You don't have to hide anything from me anymore. There's nothing you could tell me that would make me change my opinion of you. You know that, right? Take care, Sylvia. And then there's a PS. For gold rings, I start with aquamarine first and move forward from there. For silver rings, I start with zirconium. Zirconium? Yeah, zirconium first and move back. What?
She's referring to the periodic table of elements. Is aquamarine on the table of elements?
No.
No.
But it's... So this is probably how to solve one of the puzzles that they're going to give us, because
yeah, so
there's a lot of like ciphers, and aquamarine is an A and zirconium is a Z, so she's differentiating which way to move in the alphabet. I'll bet you.
Oh yeah. Board games got it. Board games got it right away. Nice job, dude.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Fabulous.
then that brings us to this fun key that you had already noticed in the border.
Yeah, I was trying really hard to not go through any of this information before we did this show because I wanted it to be like
so
real.
knowing
but I did
what
notice
we
because I was
know
scanning.
about this key, about her message, I already know what's happening here. Silver 13, gold 5, gold 8, silver 26, gold 14.
Oh, so like that's the okay. All right, cool.
Yep.
Well, let's just start writing that shit down.
Yeah.
Do
Do you want to write them down, or you want me to write them down?
If you have a way to do it so that the audience can kind of follow along, that would probably be.
I mean, I'm just going to write it on this whiteboard. If you at home would like to write these down, go ahead and write these down. What is this? I think my scan got cut off. What is this one?
That is way up in the corner. It's actually exactly how it is on the paper. I think it's G. It must be G.
15?
13 or 15.
I'm gonna go 15. All right, so the next one is S13. We're gonna just go around this clockwise, right? We already mentioned clocks. So then we have a G7.
Wait, hold on. S13, G7.
G5.
Okay.
A G8. An S26. G14. Whoa, what's that symbol?
What?
Like a weird A with dots. Is that anywhere else? Hold on. Yeah, it's in this flower.
Oh, I think it's just part of the pattern. I think that's just the
I'm willing to buy that. We had S26, G14.
Mm-hmm.
Then continuing to move clockwise, S20, G9. A fidget spinner.
I just saw that too.
That's 13. I like it. S7.
Mm-hmm.
S19. G5, S9.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let's actually stop right there and see if, let's just make sure we're doing this right.
I know,
before
I
we do the
think
whole
we
page.
are. I just want to
I'm
get them
pretty
all
sure we
written
are,
down
but-
so we can figure out the letters.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Let's do it.
S22 at G10.
S22, G10.
S6, yeah. Whether like in going clockwise, we know what order we picked them up in, so we might be able to reverse it or change it if we need
Yeah.
to. I probably should have written these in rows for each side of the frame too. That might have been smart.
That's all right. I've got them like
All right.
down the side of it.
G20.
G20.
S15.
Okay.
G9.
Okay.
S7. G20. Sneeze. Hold on 1 second.
G12. Bless you. S22. Nope. Well.
All right. Sorry. What was it? It was G12.
S22. S15.
G12. S20. And we got the
whatever's
G,
at the
and
top,
we got that G15 already.
13 or 15.
Yeah,
Oh, is that what we started with?
that's what we started with, which we maybe shouldn't have. So we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right. So we need an alphabet cipher. Do you want to create that maybe in slides? And we can do ABC all the way across and then
yeah.
number them and then do it backwards for the other side of it.
Yeah. Though, let's continue looking through material and
Okay.
come back with the solution to that puzzle next week, because we planned this for anyone that is joining late, we planned this for an hour. We're going to try and keep it to an hour a week. Yeah, we'll have the actual solution to that particular piece of the puzzle when we come back next. But let's continue looking through what else is here so that next week we can dive into the investigation proper.
It looks like we have one more, at least one more, letter that is specifically from Jasper.
We also have a letter from Mr. Jones. Or no, we have a letter from Jasper to Mr. Jones.
Okay, let's do that one first. Do you want to read that one?
Hold on 1 second here. Yeah, let's do the letter from Jasper to Mr. Jones.
Okay.
So, Mr. Jones, I just want to thank you for taking me in and helping me with my situation. I know it must be a very demanding job you have with so many moving parts to put together. I do not envy the pressure you must face on a daily basis. Should you need assistance with anything, I would like to offer my assistance. I'm very talented in several fields, and I can make your job easier, if only to give the word. All of this is not to say that I believe you are lacking in your duties or in any way falling short of your goals. Really, you have collected a staff here that has made my stay satisfactory. No, I mean only to suggest that I can be a very helpful set of hands to have. Ever so cordially, Jasper Flowers, resident 500. He's asking to be helpful. The director of operations.
Is that the dude that wrote Warren Jones?
Yeah.
The one memo?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Wait a minute, though. Is Listening Friends of America a psychiatric facility?
No. I don't think so. Well, let's go to the website.
Look at Warren Jones, director of operations, Listening Friends of America. What is it? listeningfriendsofamerica.org?
Yeah. No, I think it's an outside thing that like pairs people up.
I ended up doing a Google search. Connecting those that need it most. Who are we? Listening Friends of America is a is a partially federally funded nonprofit organization that serves isolated communities across the United States. Our mission is to provide emotional support for those most in need, promoting therapeutic correspondence. There are thousands of isolated men and women living in prisons and nursing homes, hospice care, and psychiatric wards across the country. So, okay, so...
Did you see what Zarek just put in the chat? He says, warning, volunteering with Listening to Friends of America may expose you to graphic content and writings of a mature nature. Listening to Friends of America takes every reasonable precaution to assure your safety and privacy. Please be aware that volunteering with LFOA is your choice, and you may terminate your engagement at any time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, yo.
Very serious.
Oh, look at that. Hey, guys, we're using Google Slides for all this. Now you know. Behind the
Secret.
curtain.
Pulling back the curtain.
All right. So, yeah. Sure.
So there's that, and then there's also, just because we only have about 10 minutes here on this program, we're going to go through this last bit of information that we have, which is a letter from Jasper to us. It says, "Hello, new friend. They tell me you are going to listen to my story. How exciting! I've always admired the typewriters in this writing room they call the study, and now I finally have an excuse to use one. Well, I had to make do with what was available. The pickings were slim, and most of these do not work. This is the best I could find, and still 2 keys are broken. Bummer. I think it is simply incredible that all these levers and gears work together to produce thoughts and ideas recorded permanently on paper. Excuse me, although I suppose a thought is only as permanent as the paper it is printed on, or perhaps a thought is always a beginning, its purpose to evolve when the paper changes hands."
So he's intrigued by the way the machine records thought.
But also, like, he's a crazy person that is in a psychiatric ward that we know really likes mechanical things, so that does not surprise me at all. Speaking of beginnings, if you are not going to know my story, or I'm sorry, if you are going to know my story, then I suppose you should hear the beginning, should you not? I was born to a lovely set of parents who abandoned me when I was 3. That sucks. My first foster parents tortured each other with their mediocrity. My second family was full of delusional idealists stuck in the generic mode of family sitcoms. When I turned 16, I was able to get a... the J is broken. He was able to get a job with a pawnbroker down the road, Manny. He taught me quite a lot, and I will be grateful forever to him for awakening those essential pieces of me. After Manny retired a couple years later, I took up employment with a jeweler named Sylvia. Sylvia! The letter from Sylvia.
Oh, word. Okay.
And she introduced me to horology.
That also explains the rings. She's a jeweler.
Yep. And that is a study of clocks and how clocks work. And I know that because of some podcast that I listen to, and I don't remember what it is.
Your pocket watch is seeming more and more and more relevant.
It is. Let's see. This is the final phase of my puzzle. Also, the Z is broken. Yeah. And it fit into place like a tightly wound hairspring. I give to you a simple watch from my collection, which he did. Hold on a second, let me show you this. It's actually quite nice. Quite nice little actual working pocket watch that is adorable, and I quite like it.
Photo of this guy.
Yeah. Very nice. Let's see. One that I hope will trigger an aesthetically pleasant reaction. It did. Now I am here, and you are somewhere out there reading this letter. It is sad that 2 people who would share such a tactile tether should stay so far removed from one another. But it is all a matter of perspective. The thaumatrope I have provided illustrates this well. Oh, that's that thing. That's this thing. That's the thing that I couldn't read on the back of this.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's apparently what it's called. 2 ideas seemingly opposite.
Oh, keep going.
That when viewed under certain conditions become one. There are no visitors here, but I do hear from Sylvia every now and again, perhaps 3 or 4 times a year. She keeps me up to date on the comings and goings outside these walls. She is important to me, therefore she will be important to you. I have included a copy of one of her letters so you might become acquainted. I cannot write her back. There are certain protocols that must be followed. Even if I could, however, there are things that I cannot tell her. Things that I believe she is somehow not ready to hear. But you can hear them, can you not? Of course you can. This is what we signed up for. To be more accurate, this is what you signed up for, and with what I was told to comply. Burn.
So is he being forced to write this letter then?
I don't know.
Huh.
I will play along because things are going well at the moment, and I do not want to throw a wrench into the system, as it were. That is why, without blank or blank, I can tell you between noon and halfway round that, and then there's a bunch of times listed out. And ever so cordially, Jasper. I think Y without J or Z probably is what's going on because of the missing letters.
Yeah.
So that is why
agree.
without J or Z, I can tell you between noon and halfway around that 2, 4:30, 3:15, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so is this another alphabet cipher?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oops. So,
What is between noon and halfway around? 3? Right?
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can tell you between noon and halfway around that 2, 4:30. He just never says anything else. It's like an incomplete thought.
Well, I mean, it's complete. It's just coded. But I don't know I don't know what.
Wait. Okay. Without J or Z, I can tell you between noon and halfway round. Where's your clock?
Well, between noon and halfway around is 3, right? Halfway around is 6.
Yeah. 15?
3 or 15. I can tell you that between noon and halfway around that.
What all the times mean? Dude, the letter in those boxes. Maybe those letters were way more clear though. The way I saw the letters was like clear as day. Where she was saying one was the beginning of the alphabet and one was the end, and you just work backwards or forwards based on the number. This is
it do they correspond to
Oh, I see what you're saying. There's
like
empty
letters,
boxes.
like on a clock?
There's empty boxes on the watch. Oh, there are letters. There's a T.
What? Oh, what? Oh, shut up. I didn't even see this. Good job, Zart.
There's a T and a D.
There's just a T and a D. Huh.
Huh.
Okay. Well, that's cool, actually.
So, okay. I see what he's saying. No, I don't. I mean, I get what he's saying, but I don't. I thought I understood it, and then I suddenly didn't. Oh, damn. Is this where we're leaving this week? Are we leaving this week on this weird thing where we have the clock puzzle, this weird freaking alphabet puzzle? Like, is that where we're leaving this?
Yeah, I think we are.
Oh, man.
He says if you can somehow fill them in, the times will point to certain letters.
Right.
But there's so much between T and D.
All right,
I wonder
hold
if
on.
it like starts.
All right, before we leave, let's see. Like maybe the clock is the answer. So let's count the boxes on the clock.
There's 3 in between every, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18.
Well, how many?
30. He says 34 empty.
The letter gave us 26 letters. Doesn't make any sense. So even with the 2 it gave us for free, and there's only shit.
Well, but they might not be. it might just be a completely different puzzle. Like,
right, it could be two totally separate things. We might be trying to solve one puzzle with another.
Cipher, yeah, I think the cipher for her stuff is just built into that border. I think if we follow this around, this is just going to spell something. But I think his thing is related to the clock and completely separate from her stuff.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, that doesn't match either.
Yeah.
I have to assume you use the pocket watch for this.
Yeah,
one.
I think so too.
Oh yeah,
and
no,
I
agree.
know,
I agree.
I don't know how yet, but I think you're right.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's more than 32 times here. Or 34 times. Whatever, how many? 36 times. There's like 40 or 50 times here.
Yeah.
Do
that, well...
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. I think we should think on that one, and I think we should run this little cipher, and next week we will, at the very least, have the answer to this, I think.
Yeah,
hopefully.
no, I think the letter one is super self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be back, I guess, next Saturday, hopefully with some thoughts on how we're going to solve the time piece. So do we want to set some parameters for how we discuss this outside of, like, the show real quick? Like, all right, so...
Yeah.
So, like, obviously we're both going to think about it, and we talk almost every day. So, do we want to just not talk about this until next Saturday? And we just come at it with our individual thoughts?
I think so, yeah.
All right, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's best. And if you guys have any thoughts or any insights or anything that you want us to try, like, let us know.
Yeah, you can tweet them at us. Tweet them at us at attack of op. On Twitter, and yeah, that would be a really great place to do this.
Yeah, but also
just
like
throw
I
in
want to ask you guys
hashtag
too.
the solution. Maybe I don't know what that could be. That could be like some weird cause for good. We should investigate a good hashtag.
We should.
Anyway,
I will ask you guys too. Don't just give us the answers. Don't just tweet answers at us.
Yeah, no, because the answers are out
the fun
there.
For us.
The answers are out there. This has been solved. We are not the first people to tackle this puzzle box.
Right, and it's really hard to stay away from spoilers anyway.
Right.
So like, we definitely don't want.
Thanks, man.
Answers handed to us.
We'll see you next week, I hope, and even maybe later today. We're so later today. We're just gonna segue into this real hard segue. Yeah, so later today, I'm doing a playing with myself session. I've already done the first part of Tyrant of Zentel Keep. It's a D&D 5th edition solo adventure. I'm going to be doing the second part of that, which I don't know if that's the end or if there'll be a part 3, but I'm doing the second part of that tonight at 7 p.m.
Nice. And also join us tomorrow at 4 o'clock for our flagship game. We play D&D, and it's fantastic, and we want you guys to join us.
Yeah,
so come see us tomorrow.
And this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to do this more.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you guys... Yeah. I hope you guys had fun with this, too.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we will be back next week for more solutions to your problems. Bye.
Bye.